Good evening, class. So for the postmortem or follow-up portion to last week's assignment, um, I implemented a few things that were brought up by Mr. Bloom in his analysis, and I wanted to thank him first of all for those points, and I will be incorporating them in the future as I move forward in this design degree. Um, I took the time to edit just a few of the CSS properties that he spoke of, and wanted to talk about that a little bit from here. One of the things that he discussed was that I needed to employ more Gestalt principles to the design, particularly to the home page and the registration page. One of the things I stated in my previous screencast was that design was incomplete. And even though he suggested that I really don't harp on that too much, one of the things that I felt compelled, one of the reasons why I felt compelled to do so was because if I had an actually completed project, you would see that some of the Gestalt principles were added just a bit, um, even though, of course, more instruction was always welcome. But I think I would have um, my design would have shown that a little bit better. So one of the things I did just for demonstration purposes here, I just added a height variable to the CSS property for the CTA and for the features portion here, just so we could show here uh, the spacing between elements on the page on the right side. I see I added a little bit too much here, but this is just for demonstration purposes only. The script would have actually, um, had that been employed, would have actually taken care of that and killed some of that white space. Um, there was actually more blue that was taking the user's eye away from the actual content of the page here. One of the other things I did was on the background, I instead of having the blue on blue, I took the gray from this element, which is a subdued background, and I actually applied it to the background of the body so that you could see it here, and it still contrasts against the background of the HTML element itself, but then on the body copy was here. Is where I implemented the gray element, which contrasts against the blue. Uh, Hindsight, it probably would have been a better color to maybe use some of the orange or something else that went along with the branding. But I just wanted to subdue a lot of this blue here that was going from here. Um, One of the things that was also discussed was in the projects page. No, not the projects page, but the registration form. Um, that is here. This actually, he mentioned that it was probably intended to be a pop-up, that this element here was supposed to be a pop-up, and indeed it was intended to be a pop-up. So when you clicked on go to your account, or once you hit the sign up button from the home page and you hit create an account, what was supposed to happen was that this portion here was supposed to pop up uh, in a more prominent color. The rest of the body was supposed to fade to a bit, so your focus would be here in the update account information page. Um, Once again, just for demonstration purposes, I just added that gray background to here. Going forward, but in a real world scenario, I could have probably put some more graphics here and here just to take your eye off of that. Maybe subdue it. Maybe make it grayscale, as he mentioned in somebody else's video. Um, put some graphics here, make it grayscale, as well as bring this up in the pop-up, which is the original intent, and that would take some of the focus away from uh, this big body of blue on each side of the form here. Um, One of the other things I wanted to mention um, was that from not only from his instructor when he recommended some of the W3 schools for a resource to use to identify selectors and get more familiar with them. I actually took the opportunity to go into some of our lynda.com courses and learn more about jQuery, not only just for this course, but for other things as well. So here is I have a couple of playlists that I've made, one specifically for jQuery, and looking over a couple of these videos here um, has actually been quite helpful in just learning a, in a different method or a different style from our instructors um, about jQuery and about utilizing the selectors in a more efficient manner. Um, and I just wanted to touch on the jQuery Essential Training by Joe Marini and um, this gentleman here, Chris Converse, has a whole series of jQuery styled lessons, just like this one with the animated rollovers. He actually goes into a lot of the stuff, and even though he doesn't explain the fact that you can use the CSS selectors as hooks, he actually shows them in his videos, and going after reviewing what Mr. Bloom told us about using the CSS selectors and watching courses like these, you can actually see them in play and see them being used in a is it demonstrated, but it's we can actually use those in a real world sense. And for those of you who are not as strong as I am with coding and scripting specifically, these courses and this series that he has here for jQuery um, is a big help. And I think I'm going to be taking more time to go through that and learn more as I move forward. So that's pretty much it. Um, my code, as he mentioned, I had a lot of classes that were named. I was using classes and IDs for my styling hooks, and reiterating the point from uh, lynda.com, using courses like this will help me eliminate that, produce more efficient code, and then I won't have to worry about the styling hooks because I can use jQuery and the selectors combined in CSS without the extra classes to make sure that I'm writing more efficient code and can be more precise and more exact with my scripting. So um, I think that's about it. I just wanted to thank Mr. Bloom again for his help, his guidance, his support, and that's it for now. Thank you very much, and have a great evening.